This is me, Dirty Lena, with Dirty's Page. No, I'm not going to do no crazy song. Right now, I'm not in the mood for singing. I've been coughing a lot lately, actually. I was eating some food yesterday, and I ended up like the food got stuck, not in there, but right down here where it hurts. And it like I could take little sips of water to kind of wash it down. That was rough. That was really rough. Choking is not fun. I wanted to talk about what it's like being a warrior of light. Same time, I'm getting myself set up because there's the sun right there, and you can see the shadow, right? And I'm drinking some Silk almond chocolate, dark chocolate. Milk. 120 calories. Okay, now what I wanted to talk about is what it's like being a warrior of light. I'm going to tell you how I got started, okay? And this is going to kind of go back to a long, even down to my childhood. When I was a kid, I'd always known about there was something going on about music. We all love music, right? Sure, there's good music and then there's bad music, let me put it that way. It makes you feel good, it can make you cry, it can make you, dance, it can do a lot of stuff. Well, there was some music that really got to me to a point where it almost took my life. That's when I was partying a lot. That's when I was drinking and smoking, and I was young and stupid. I'm not stupid anymore. I'm still young, but I'm not stupid anymore. Well, I've always known that, right? So there's certain types of music that has this mysterious, like, vibrations that will get to you, right? I used to go to a lot of concerts too. Well, that's when I was young. When I was like about 19, well, actually, a teenager, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, stuff like that. Well, by doing that, I'd learned something. And hi, Mr. Beast, how are you? Glad to see you here. I learned something about there's more to life than just what meets the eye. Because I felt it. Like I said earlier, the music that I was listening to almost took my life. And my face was all beaten up. Everything. It was awful. Okay, that's when I was, in my early stages of life. I went through life. I made choices, good choices, bad choices, but I've always been on the level of good, right? I'm not a criminal. I know right from wrong. I know pretty much like we all are, right? Respect, courtesy and stuff like that. Well, I started some of the situations I got in. They got to be pretty intense, like being homeless. Not once, not twice, but 3 times. I don't know which time was the worst, because the first time I was homeless was devastating. I ended up getting divorced, losing my children, living out in the cold, falling off a truck with a hurt back, and then I had a dislocated pelvis, and I was homeless. I was living in my truck in this time of year, like November, December, in Colorado. It's cold. Yeah, I did that. That was the first one. The second one was kind of like when I ended up. That second one was the easiest one, being homeless, because I ended up. It was out of my own, decisions. Not that I wanted to be homeless. It's just I made some wrong decisions, which led me. I don't want to say it was all my fault, because I got divorced for the second time, and I ended up being homeless. But the divorce the second time was because I couldn't take the marriage anymore. There's too much abuse going on in there. So I chose to get away from that. I will live on my own, someplace who knows where. The third time was a scam. I ended up getting scammed from being a truck driver by a driver that, make a long story short, she sued the company. The company turned around and fired me and blackballed me. By then, I ended up losing all my storages, losing all my money, as I was trying to buy a house. And I ended up losing my CDL, and I almost lost my life because I ended up catching pneumonia, and my heart stopped 4 times. I got the paperwork to prove it, the documents, and I'm like, look, this is how bad it was. I didn't even know my heart had stopped, but it's like you're super weak. You can't even lift a fingernail. You just, not that you lift my fingernail, but you can't pick up your hand. It's just like, your power pack in you is drained. Let me see what you said, Mr. Lees. Wish you would do these shows at night. I'm playing outside with stuff and can't hang with you. Oh, well, maybe I'll come on later. Okay, depends where I end up going. So I'll probably come back later. Just for you, Mr. Beast, okay? So if I don't do it tonight, it'll probably be tomorrow night. Okay? Deal? So have a great day and be safe. So there you go. I'm coming on tomorrow night. From a request from Mr. Bees. I love my audience, okay? But okay, this was one of the things that I'm trying to get at. Not about being homeless. It's not about the good things and bad things I did in my life. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about how it started for me to be a warrior of light. Okay, as time went on, right? The third time, I realized all the gifts I had, all the treasures that are out here. I realized, what's around me, the dangers, everything, the opportunities, and everything. It was the second time before I ended up getting, and after, before I ended up catching pneumonia, and I was homeless. Well, I almost lost everything there, including my trucking career. So I had to fight for everything to get back. I had to really struggle, like, to get back to where I am now. Well, by that, learning to, like, I remember I was sitting down, like at McDonald's, because I used to go there for the free Wi-Fi, so I can, then I still had my tablet. It was a different tablet, a computer, laptop. And I used to go there, and I didn't have my tablet yet. And I used to go and, with the Wi-Fi, and sit there and, get on the Wi-Fi and look for a job and stuff. Well, I remember this one guy. He was eating a few tables near me, and he had a glass full of orange juice, right? And he ended up getting up because he finished eating breakfast. He got up, and his cup of orange juice was more than halfway full. It was like, that much. And I thought to myself, if he realized what it's like to not have that orange juice, because I didn't have any orange juice. I didn't have any money to buy me anything at McDonald's. I was just sitting there in the Wi-Fi, So I'm just sitting there watching everybody eat, and I didn't have anything. I was I had like a dime in my pocket. And I thought to myself, be grateful for the things you have. So even before then, I've always been grateful. But that really, really resonated with me, to be thankful, to be aware of what you have around you. What is at your fingertips? What are the opportunities you have? So I carried that with me. And I would always be thankful for everything I had. And then when I ended up losing my voice, because like now it's a little rusty, and I'm still trying to practice to sing. So look, I'm not going to sing now. Sorry to torture you guys, but I used to be able to sing real pretty, carry my voice, and now it's rough. I'm still trying to work on it. Well, I realized your breath, the air you breathe in, you can't forget about that. You have to be, aware that each breath you take in could be life-saving. If you don't have that next breath of air, if you choke or something, you're grasping. You need your air. And when I almost died like that because of food poisoning, I ended up even being more thankful about everything, not just the food I had, but the air that I breathe, the life that I live. Hi, Humberto. How are you? Let me see. What did you say? B's already went. He's not here anymore. He had to go do something. So, anyway, thanks for coming on, Humberto. Okay, but this is what it's like being. This is one of the reasons why, in my opinion, I was offered, to be a warrior. I've been out by myself, right? So I show, not to everybody, I don't show off. It's just, I go about my business throughout the United States. I look at it as my yard, the whole United States. I don't go out of my yard, right? And I end up, wherever I go, I'm home, because my semi is my home. And I end up being in tough places and bad weather and, sometimes broken down, sometimes running real good, sometimes feeling sick and stuff. Well, I carry on, right? It's truck driving. Yes. A lot of people, they get to go home. In fact, one person, not too long ago, he told me, where's home? And because he was either loading or unloading or a truck driver, I don't remember, but he told me, where's home? And I told him, I am home. And he says, no, he says, most truck drivers, they gotta go, they have a home to go home to. I told him, where's your home? I told him, this is it. This is, because I was trying to tell him I live in my truck. And that's when he realized, oh, okay. So, but anyway. So, so that, wherever I go, my home is blessed. Yes, and it's mechanical. It has its, ups and downs. Okay, but this is what it's like being a warrior of light. I was getting, as you guys might know, I was doing fine. I was acting crazy. I was dancing and even doing artwork and everything. Everything was going good. But then I ended up, my emotions started going up and down. So I would take all my stuff down, then I'd make more, and then I'd take them all down. So, my videos, they go up and down and stuff. Well, that got a little, like, roller coaster. It got really, really hard. Emotional, psychological, everything. And being out here by myself, it's like I didn't have no one to go to. So I asked the universe, I asked the Creator, I asked God, I asked however you want to call him, Uh, please, um, can I have wisdom and knowledge? And after that, like I want to say within 2 weeks, the wisdom was pouring in on me. And it was just like a lot of, like, there's like all this, everything that I didn't know was coming at me, new information, things I didn't know about, things I was extremely interested in, learning how to carry my voice, learning, everything, right? Everything. From taking care of your body to how the economy was, how the world was, how other countries are, how the universe is, like everything, just all this information, just like, it's like if, you know, I was dumped on by a library, just boom, there you go. Take your pick. What do you want to learn, right? I was like, okay, guess what? I'm going to school. So that's when I started studying, right? And then, shortly after, I found my path, right? Because there's so much avenues I can go. I can go this way. I can go start studying that, start studying this, start studying. In fact, if you guys remember, I was studying economics at first, and I learned a lot about economics. I learned about how the economy, I'll tell you right quick, in a nutshell. Right now, it comes in cycles, the economy. But, okay, it goes up and down, right? It goes like, okay, from the screen, it goes down, and then it goes up, and then it goes down, and then it goes up, and then it goes like that, right? But that's all it does. It just constantly goes up and down. In a period of up to 100 years, up to 200 years. It would take from there, go down, all the way up, and then back to where it was right there again. Take 200 years, right? Well, that's what the economy does. So when we see it, the economy is bad, it means we're coming downhill. And things are going to get worse. And things will get better, so it's going to go up and up and up and up and up. But we're just a little dot in the economy, right? Like our time, like now to say next summer, is still just a little tiny. With a 2-year legend, you got like, so it goes like that. Well, from day to day, we're just a little tiny speck. So whatever, that's how the economy is. And I'm talking like from the Great Depression, 1932 to now, right? It was measured from the 1932, right? We'll start there, to 2006, 2007, 2008. It had gone down. 1932, it started going up. And then in 2008, it went back down. And now it's going up. Now in 2023, it's started to go down again, right? So that's what I'm talking about. Except at the same time, it goes up and then up and up. So it's just climbing like that, right? That's how the economy works. You don't believe me? Study it. That's what I learned. Has nothing to do with spiritual, has nothing to do with, that's just the way we're evolving, right? As the humanity, right? You look now, the computers, right? We're on our way up. It's not that we had computers back in 1902, and now all the computers are gone, and we're back to riding, horse buggies and stuff. No, now we're riding beautiful cars, hot rods. The semis are very comfortable. If you can see, so we're going up. It goes up and up and up and up. That's how. Well, a lot of that stuff, like I said, I was bombarded with. I became smart, right? To put it in, be frank. And I don't brag about that. It's just I've learned so much that it blew my mind up for a little bit. Like I'm asking my brain, or my brain is asking, my arm, do you have any extra space in there? Because I'm full and I need some extra storage space. So I can put some more information in my arm or my leg. I'm just kidding. Yeah, but I learned a lot. So I had to decide, what really do I want to learn, right? And, well, if you guys believe or you don't believe, it doesn't matter what I'm going to say. Archangel Michael, he came to me and he saw how I was, that I'm fearless, that I'm, honest, that I'm, I do make mistakes. We all make mistakes. And he asked me, gave me an opportunity. Not only me, but thousands and tens of thousands of people. So he didn't just, come, knocking on my door and says, yes, we want you. No, he asked thousands of people. And he basically put a bulletin board, says, whoever wants to be a warrior of light, let me know. Well, I was looking at it and I thought, I guess I'll try that, right? Well, oh my goodness. Hold on. I forgot I got to turn this stuff off. There. Anyway, I thought being a warrior for an archangel is an honor to me, right? And to have that opportunity to be accepted, I'm like, I don't know if I could be accepted, I don't know, but I'll try it. So I talked to Archangel Michael in my prayers, in my meditation, and he came to me. He literally, I saw his golden glow right above my head, and like glitter of golden little lights just rained down on me. Okay, now here's where it gets a little, right? You think, okay, sure, you talk to Archangel Michael, sure, you think, sure, yeah, right. You know, I always thought Archangel Michael was untouchable. I thought he was somewhere way off in the universe that, I'll never get to talk to him. Wrong. Um, when that happened, when he came to me, because when I said, yes, I would be honored to be a warrior. Well, he gave me his blessings. He acknowledged me that I'm a warrior of light. Well, I had some assignments to do, and I still have assignments to do. And this is ongoing. This is what it means to be a warrior of light from my perspective. I mean, I know I still have a lot to learn, but from my perspective, where I am right now, I'm a truck driver. Me and my little dog, Abigail. If by committing something like that to an archangel or to an angel and being acknowledged, being annulled that, okay, you're my warrior now. That's what he told me. Well, I thought, right on, I'm all happy. And I mean, trust me, I was excited. I was so happy. I gotta tell you, Archangel Michael, first of all, he's not afraid of nothing. 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 He's not afraid. I mean, and if you show fear, he will, Poeta, you don't belong here anymore. So, because now that I'm a archangel, I have him protecting me. So, why should I be afraid, right? He's a servant of God, if you guys don't know. He's a servant of Mother or Father God, okay? Their creator, the source, however you guys want to call him. He's a servant. So he's not God, but he's a servant. And these archangels that are out there, they have their assignments, right? And one, they each got their own individual assignments. One is about love. One is about healing. One is about protection. One is about, wisdom, stuff like that, right? Well, Archangel Michael is about protection. You have nothing to be afraid of. He's a protector. He's like the general of all generals. The generals now in the military, I'm equivalent. If they were to become an archangel, if they were to become, like, let's say a general were to become a military general, out serving, the army and whatever, Air Force, whatever. If, like, a four-star general were to become a warrior of light, we would be, to me and him, would be equal. He would no longer be a four-star above me like he is in this reality. It would be like, okay, we're both warriors of light. You can be the smartest person in the world, and and you could be someone that just came out of prison. If they're both warriors of light, they're equal, right? So it doesn't mean that just because he has a lot of clout, that, he served in the military and he knows battle, strategic and all this, and someone who's a cook at a restaurant became a warrior of light too, that like he's lower. No, it's the same. That's what a warrior of light is. I will get better through time. I will get better through, what, as fast as I want to go, right? But even then, I'll get better at what I do. But still, I'll still be just the same as a general or the cook, or it would be all still be the same. The one who, because in, what is it? Like, to be in the, Archangel Michael's military, he's a general. There's no ranks. Okay, there's no lieutenants. There's no drill sergeants. There's no privates. No. It's just you're a warrior. I'm the leader. That's it. Just plain simple. Boom. And that's how maybe Abigail. She's dreaming. Well, that's how it is as far as I know. Okay, like I said, I'm kind of new at this. Okay, here's the thing that why I'm making this video. What it's like to be an archangel. I keep saying that. What it's like to be a warrior of light for an archangel. I don't know what it's like to be an archangel. I'm not. But what it's like to be a warrior of light for an archangel. First of all, I have all the protection I need, right? If there's, a disease, I'm going to be fine. If there's an earthquake, I'm going to be fine. If I'm in a plane crash and everybody dies in the plane, I'm going to be fine. If, if there's a flood and, the earth was covered, I'm going to be fine, right? So I cannot be afraid, for one thing. If I were to be afraid, then he says, well, you don't belong in my army because you're afraid and you have nothing to be afraid of. There's new experiences that I have not yet, like trillions of experiences that I have not experienced yet. And some are frightening. How am I going to know if I'm going to be afraid or not? I don't know. But I have to depend on my faith. So just like when I'm driving out in a blizzard in North Dakota, where it's just a whiteout and you can't even see the road, you gotta have faith that you're going to be okay, right? Just like when you're in a hurricane and the truck is just rocking and the rain is going sideways, you have to have faith. Like, do you know there's going to be a hurricane? No. You're all of a sudden there's like you're in a hurricane. All of a sudden, boom, you have to be strong. You have to be a warrior. Okay, that can be tough. That can be real tough, right? Another thing is what it's like to be a warrior of light or an archangel. You have to be, you get assignments, right? Unlike any other. And they have to come from your heart. You can't lie to yourself. You can't lie at all, period. Okay, so when I say that I'm an archangel, oh, so I keep saying that. When I say that I'm a warrior of light or an archangel, I'm not an archangel, okay? Let's make that clear. I keep getting my words mixed up there. When I say that I'm a warrior of light for an archangel, I mean that. That is no lie. Because if I were to be lying, I would probably be dead right now. And I would be no more, right? I wouldn't even be walking this earth. I would be gone. To lie about something like that, especially when you're confirmed that you are a warrior, and then to lie people to brag about it. I'm not bragging about it. I'm just letting you guys know what I'm going through right now. Well, that's one of the things that I cannot do anymore. Maybe, okay, a little white lie. Maybe, right? Dodie, did you eat all the ice cream? And I would have like ice cream marks on my chin or something. Nope, I didn't eat it. Abigail ate it, right? Like, there's evidence, right? Little white lie like that. Those are sometimes fun. They're just like, totally harmless. Whether you eat all the ice cream or eat all the cookies or something like that. But when it comes to lying about what you do, how much money you make, lying about, not, doing something that, like, so that you don't get blamed on or something, that can be tough too. That can be tough because, like I said, I'm not perfect. And yeah, before, I had to wiggle myself out of an accident, right? No, officer, I didn't read that sign right. I passed it. Really, I saw the sign. I kept going, right? But trying to wiggle myself out of a ticket, you know what I mean? I can't do that anymore. I have to be 100%, 1000% honest. So, with that being said, that's tough. Believe it or not, that is tough. That might sound so simple. It might sound the easiest thing, but it's tough to do. Being honest is it's a challenge. It's because in this society we live in the culture, the time that we live in now. It's so easy to say a little white lie, which turns into a big lie. No, I didn't pass that red light. Like, yes, you did. Like to try to wiggle yourself out of something. Like I said, that's so easy for us. It's like almost second nature already. Lying, yes, lying has become so easy for us to do. It's so convenient to blame somebody else. It's so okay, yeah, whatever. Like, yeah, I didn't make that mess. You clean it up. Stuff like that, right? Okay, well, that's one of the things. Another thing is, if I were to stop being a warrior of light, say I thought to myself, this is just getting too hard for me. I can't do this. I got to go back to my ordinary self and just be me. And I was happy the way I was. And you know what? Well, now that I was a warrior of light, and now that I would say that I didn't want to anymore, that's kind of like a cop. If a cop were to go, a police officer were to go to prison, because they would be out to get him or her. That's how I would be right now if I were to stop being a warrior of light. See, so because it's not that the people in prison are trying to get me, it's the darkness. And what I mean by the darkness, I mean the evil ones, right? The bad spirits, the corrupt, you know, the bad, the darkness, right? I've learned to call it the darkness, because I've learned to have respect even to the dark, right? You don't just because, they don't, like, say they're Satan worshipers or something, just because, they do what they do, you still don't disrespect them. You know, you just don't respect, you don't disrespect nobody. That's part of being a warrior of light. That's part of being a person, right? You shouldn't do that anyway. But that's, if I were to stop, like I said, they would come after me with a vengeance. And they would make my life a living hell. My truck would break down, I'd get sick, I'd get a disease, I'd get in fights, I'd, get hurt, I'd broken bones, blind, you name it. They would throw everything in the kitchen sink at me. So with that being said, no, I am not going to ever stop being a warrior of light. The only way I would stop is if Archangel Michael, if he were to kick me out, like say I was lying or something, and he says, nope, you don't belong here. But even then, if I did that, he would still protect me, right? And if I chose not to, of course he would protect me. but not like the protection I have now. Right now, I have a golden shield around me. You can't see it. It's invisible. I feel it. I do. I feel it. I feel safe, right? That's what I feel. And, it feels so, security, right? That's one of the best things you can feel is if you were to be out, say you're out in the cold in the mountains and it's snowing, 12 feet of snow, and you're just trying to get to your cabin or something. Okay, you finally get to your cabin and you start a fire, okay, you feel secure, you know what I mean? You're not out in the cold, freezing to death. You feel secure. That's how I feel right now. I feel secure. That is one of the most wonderful feelings because I feel loved, right? I feel so much love in my heart. And not like I said, Archangel Michael, Archangel, right? Angel, yes. That means love, okay? I told you guys I love you guys way before this, that I love you guys. And that's one of the qualities that Archangel, that I believe that Archangel liked about me. That, I have a lot of love and I'm ready to share it with anybody. What I've learned lately is before I wasn't sharing it with everybody. Now I share my love with everybody. Even if it's a rapist, even if it's a murderer, even if it's, someone, an evil ruler or something, my love is going to be there for that person. That's what being an archangel, that's what being, well, actually, that's what being an archangel is, right, too. But being a warrior of light, yeah, I got to learn all that stuff, right? All that's not easy, right? It's not. You see someone beating up, a dog or something, right? You can't go over there and start beating up the guy or nothing like that. No, you need to stop, or I would need to go and stop and, just stop it. Just like stop it and put my love, like I, like I said, there's some things I don't know yet, but how to lay my love out for that person beating up his pet, right? Say his pet dog or something. And that I have to learn still. There's still a lot of things I got to learn. One of the things that I have learned about being a warrior of light for an archangel in my life, yes, I think so. Let me see, is there anybody there? Hold on. I hope I'm live. I don't know. I don't see anything moving on my phone. Did my thing stop or not? I'm still here. Let me know if you're there or anybody, because I don't see a clock. Oh, okay, there it is. Yes, I'm live. Yes. I saw the clock is like itty bitty teeny tiny teensy weensy. And I didn't see it yeah, okay, yes, I'm still here. This is the part that, being a warrior of light, it gets me angry. It gets me, how can I say it, frustrated. And I see now how I feel it, how Jesus Christ felt. Right? Put this down. I feel what he went through. When he went out to the desert, which he did, he went out to the desert, he lost track of time. He didn't know he was out there for 40 days. He didn't know that. He just went out and he was with, with his conscience. And, I'm not going to tell you the whole story on that, but when he came back, he was talking to an angel. Well, he was talking to an angel when he was out there. And he was hungry. And what they have in the Bible says that, that Satan tempted him with the rock to turn it into bread. That's not true. That's not true at all. He had picked up the rock and he realized he could turn that rock into bread himself, because he was there was so much power in him already, right? And he hadn't eaten in days and days, and he was hungry, and he was just about to do that, and he suddenly stopped. He says, don't, no, don't do that. Don't turn that rock into bread. The Bible says that, like I said, Satan tempted him, right? You're God, you can do anything. Turn it. No, it wasn't that. He stopped himself because he realized if he turns that rock into bread, he's just as bad as the people that got destroyed from Atlantis, because they all started thinking they were gods because they found this power within themselves. And, well, he stopped, right? And just then, an angel appeared, and, well, he didn't know. He just saw some guy standing there, right? And, he told him that he was hungry. And they talked for a little bit. I don't know exactly what words they said. And, that man standing next to him told him, all you got to do is ask. Just ask and you'll receive. And so he asked the Creator, will you give me something to eat? I'm hungry. Because he had been out in the desert for days and days and days. Nothing to drink or nothing. So immediately his hunger pains went away. He was no longer hungry. And he had water to drink. Okay, so that's a little background on what happened then. Well, before I lose my chain of thought here, what it's like to be a warrior of light. He came out. Hi, Robert. How are you doing? He came out And he told that guy standing in, Jesus told that guy standing there, which was an angel, told him, I'm going to go back to, my people and tell them everything that I know, because he was all excited. And that angel just laughed. He says, it'll take millennia. What millennia means is centuries. It's going to take centuries for you to do that. And, okay, Jesus didn't understand. Like, how could nobody... I got some good news to tell everybody. I'm going to go tell everybody, right? Because this is great, great news. Well, when he came back to his people, as he started, nobody believed him. Like, they thought he's crazy. He's a madman. Not to mention his own mother, Mother Mary, she didn't believe him. She thought he was like what kind of drugs you've been taking or something, right? Let me see what you said, Robert. How does the devil tempt the Almighty? Is that because Jesus wasn't God? Well, Jesus isn't God. And the devil doesn't tempt, never tempted. That's a myth, because from the Bible, I'll explain that in a minute. I don't want to get off track here. I'll get right back to that question, Robert, okay? Well, for me, right, when Jesus came back, he started telling people about what he can do, the things he saw and felt. Like his very own self, that, yes, this really happened. They didn't believe him. Nobody believed him. So he got a little creative, and he started talking in parables, right? Not to mention the way he would heal people. We all have this, but we need to master it. Okay, in our hands, right? Our brain and our hands. Is it our brain or our mind? Our mind, not our brain, because our brain is really different from the mind. Our mind and our hands have power, right? So that's why when Jesus would put his hand on somebody, they would heal. I found that out. Like, that's how he did it. But it wasn't him. It wasn't Jesus. It was God coming in through his brain, coming in through him, coming in through Jesus, and out in his hand. That's how it happened. See, like I said, I learned so much, and I'm still learning. And I'm just like preschool on all this stuff, right? I'm at preschool level. Well, that's what happened, right? Jesus said that. I talk to Jesus every day. That's what he said. And he says, we all have that. That's why he wanted to go and tell everybody. But the angel says, yeah, it'll take millennia. That's what Jesus said. The angel told him, it'll take millennia. Millennia means, centuries. And Jesus couldn't understand that. Like, what do you mean? Geez, this is good news. I'm going to go tell everybody. He was thinking like when Moses came back with the 10 Commandments, when he came back from the mountain and saw the burning bush. Jesus was thinking basically the same thing, except it didn't quite work out that way for him. Well, for me right now, being a warrior of light, see, and there's no turning back at this point. There's no turning back for Jesus. You go all the way, or you're out, right? That's how I am right now. I've already entered. I need to go all the way. I'm going forward. If I were to go out, like I said, I'd be like a police in prison, and they would come after me. The darkness would come after me. So no, I'm not lying about this. Honest, I'm not lying. Okay, with that said, I'm not lying, right? There are people that don't believe what I say. There are people that, like, I'll give you an example. I had this feeling to talk to my sister. So, a few weeks ago, you're doing okay, Abigail? A few weeks ago, I called my brother up and asked her for her number. And she gave it to me. I hadn't called her until just, the other day. Well, she told me that her husband died. I'm thinking, what? And he says, yes, we lost him. I'm thinking, he died? And I'm talking to her on the phone. She says, yes, but, he came back. He was gone for like about 10 minutes or something like that, right? 10, 20 minutes, and, he came back. And I thought to myself, oh, okay, so then he's at home with you and he's okay. She says, yes. But he got really sick, and, his heart stopped and all this stuff. Well, there's some things that, I'm not going to tell you the whole entire conversation between us, but me and my sister, at times we've been close and at times we haven't. We hadn't talked in a while, but, we've had our differences, let me put it that way. But, I'm telling her, and so, okay, I slept on it, and then, like today, I called her up, being that I'm a warrior of light, because I told her that I was a warrior of light. If you need anything, let me know. I will send you as to where to go, show you how to get the best protection ever. And well, this morning I'm talking to her, and I can't just tell you this. I have to ask you if you would want the information that I give. The information I'm giving right now is I'm letting you guys know what it's like to be a warrior of light. Well, I can't just go ahead and tell you, go there, go there. I can't do that. I can tell you I love you. And because there are some things that I can do. Unconditional love is for everybody. It's not, if you love, it's not good to keep it closed in. You gotta spread it around. Well, being a warrior of light, I'm talking to my sister, and this morning she tells me, you believe what you believe, and, I'll believe what I believe. And I thought to myself, okay, this could turn ugly really quick, right? But I was smart enough with everything I've learned to not turn anything negative. And I told her, all I'm saying is if you want the information, I will give you some information, and you can follow it. That's all I'm asking you. I told him, if you don't want it, I'm not going to send you any information. And she says, no, it's okay. He says, okay, well, I love you. See, and I ended it in a positive note. I didn't end it like, what do you mean that you believe that I believe? I'm not trying to tell, I'm not trying to shove this down your throat. Nothing. It wasn't like that. Before, between me and my sister, we were being a cat fight here. Not anymore, right? I learned how, and that's one of the things I'm learning. But the thing is, she gave me a feeling of what it's like to tell someone you love that, my sister, I love my sister, that tell them that yes, this is what it is. And they don't believe you, right? Kind of like what Jesus was trying to tell Mother Mary, because Mother Mary still believed in the Judaism, right? That was the religion back then. It's still going on, and she hadn't never heard of anything else. But Jesus was saying, like, this is what is like. So what Jesus started doing, his brother had cut himself. And so Jesus went over there and he healed it. And his brother was like amazed. And, just little things like that, that his mom, Mother Mary, started seeing that, like, how'd you do that? You know what I mean? And like, that's magic, right? Like, so Jesus was saying, no, it's not magic. It's God. It comes through me, and there it is. So anyway, I don't have that yet. I haven't mastered that. I'm not claiming to be Jesus. So, whoa, I have a lot to learn before I go there. But with the teachings of Jesus, I don't have to go out to the desert and find out, right? But the thing is, it's like we all have that. But what it's like to be a warrior of light, and you say something that you guys might not believe me now. And hey, Anonymous Trucker, how are you doing? And I'll read those in a minute, okay? I'll get back with you, Robert. I promise. But like when, you say something that it happened to you. Like I know for a fact that I was anointed by Archangel Michael. I know, I felt his energy like go through my body. And like I said, I cannot lie. And like I tell people, don't ask me if you think you're fat, because I'm gonna have to tell you the truth. But that's just a little crazy thing there. But anyway, I'm not lying when I say that. Okay, that's what it's like being a warrior of light for an Archangel Michael. Okay, and it can be heartbreaking, because who's going to believe me, right? What, I'm a truck driver. I've been doing this most half my life, actually half my life. Like what? You don't know nothing. You just know how to drive a truck, Okay, you can back into docks. You can, whip through traffic. You can know how to drive in mountains and stuff. Like, who's going to believe you? Well, like I said about the 4-star general, would you believe a 4-star general before you would believe me? It's the same thing. We're equal, right? You don't have to have clout to be a warrior of light. You don't have to have, be a scientist and I'll have all kinds of, NASA experience, and I've studied space and I know this stuff, and, No, you could be a bum off the street, right? Because Jesus, when he was young, he was a rebel. There were years and years that aren't recorded in his younger days, like in his 20s and stuff, that were not recorded because that's when he was living like we are today. He was just an ordinary man going out with girls, uh, doing, who knows, drinking, who knows what he did. But he was just an ordinary man and experiencing life, right? So when he came out, nobody believed him. But so that's what I'm saying. I'm not, when I say this, some of you guys don't believe me, and I get it. It's a challenge to your beliefs because it was a challenge to mine. I'm thinking, wait a minute, that's not, that doesn't make sense. But then they would explain it to me like, yes, you need to like wake up. It does make, this is what happened. So anyway, that's what I'm saying. If you guys don't believe me, like my sister says, you believe whatever you want to believe and stuff. It's not about whether you believe me or not. That's not what being a warrior of light is, okay? Being a warrior of light, I'm going to tell you right now, if you guys get sick, if you guys become afraid, if you guys, become like Brian the other day, right? He got sick from his eyes, he got his mouth and stuff, his job. He couldn't, I was trying to get a hold of him and he didn't want to answer. I was going to send him $500 to $1,000 just to help him out financially. He doesn't believe in God, so I was going to ask him, right? Do you need, in fact, I did. I put it to a text. Like, if you need anything, don't be afraid to ask. Well, he never asked. But I wanted to talk to him personally, but he never responded. And, okay, I could have helped him out a little financially, but he didn't return my call. Does it mean that I'm going to hold it against him or not? No, I still, if it all happened again, I would do it again. Whether it be more or less, whatever, it doesn't matter. What matters is the love there, right? The security. Remember I told you about the security? That's what matters. That's okay. And this is like being a warrior of light. I'm a pillar of light, right? You know what a pillar is, right? I'm not the only one. There's thousands and thousands, perhaps millions all around the world. So I'm not the only one. So I'm not just, waving and say I'm the best. No, nothing like that. There's like thousands of people that are warriors of light. And some of us are going to make it and some of us are not. I hope to God I make it. There's tests that I'm constantly going through. And dreams, I go through good and bad dreams. I'll tell you right quick. I've talked to beings from other planets, right? Like I said, I am not lying. But it's not about whether you believe me or not. It's, okay, picture this. You're out at sea, right? You're in your little fishing boat and you're near land, but you don't know where it is because the storms come in and it's dark and your little boat is just splashing all over the place. Well, you see that beacon, right? That lighthouse. I'm that lighthouse. I'm that beacon of light. Okay, that's what I am. I'm that pillar of light. That's what a beacon is. That's what I am. Are you going to believe that light? Okay. I don't believe that light. I'm going to go the other direction. Like, that would be pretty stupid to do in a storm, right? And at night, in your little boat, and like, well, I don't believe that light. I'm going to go the other way. No, you don't. You go towards the light, right? You go towards the light. That's what it is. You don't have to believe everything I believe. You don't have to believe. I'm learning stuff that I never imagined. And am I going to expect you guys to believe them right off the bat? No. Of course you're going to not believe me. Of course you're not. And that's like what Jesus, he tried and tried and tried. And I could tell you a lot of things about Jesus, but I'm not going to go there. That's a different subject. But I used him as an example, as the way he felt about people not believing him. That's how I am. I tell people that I'm a warrior of light. They're like, sure, yeah, I saw you cussing at someone, just a few months ago. Like, sure, right, like, well, people change, right? And I changed for the better from that. And I've learned, and I'm learning every single day. I don't live for the past. I don't live for the future. I live for now. What I'm going to do right now, right? So you don't have to believe what I say. You'd have to go through all the studying I've done, all the learning that I've been taught to get to where I'm at. I can't teach you that. I'm not a teacher. I'm not an instructor. I'm just a warrior of light. I'm just that beacon of light out there that you see in the storm that you says, we need to go that way because there's a safe haven that way. That's all. Okay, that's what a warrior of light is for me right now. Okay? So, if you guys, don't like what I say, if you guys protest, if you guys, never want to talk to me, or if you guys really are interested and want to know more about this and stuff, let me know in a polite way. That's all I ask. Be respectful. Okay, now I'm going to read the comments, and I'll get back to some of these that Robert was talking about. Okay, how does the devil tempt the Almighty? Is that because Jesus wasn't God? Well, yeah, like I said, Jesus, he wasn't God. Jesus was a man, right? He calls us brothers. He calls us sisters. He calls us his children. He calls us, he's like a brother, right, to us. He's not God. And he says, some people think I'm God. He says, I'm not God. Cracks me up when he says that. But I just know the stuff, and yeah, but he is a master, right? That he is. He's a master of planet Earth, of the galaxy, and I don't know if it's like his region. I don't know if they do that, without the universe. The universe is huge. I don't know if he's the master of the whole universe. I don't know that yet. But I know he's a master. So he, it's rightfully correct to have respect for him, right? Like, say, you know, when people say, you know, effing Jesus, effing that, or something like that, and throw his name in there, that's disrespectful. That's very disrespectful. I wouldn't recommend anybody say they had a beautiful daughter, right? And they were so proud of their daughter. I love, like Jennifer. She is so pretty, and she's such a sweetheart and everything. And then this guy would come in saying, "That effing Jennifer," that effing, you would take that offensive. It would hurt. It would hurt, right? And that's why it's not good to use the word Christ or Jesus in any type of, in a bad way in your language. It's never good. That's not a good thing. Okay, but no, he's not God anyway. According to the Bible, didn't Adam and Eve become fallen so that we all became imperfect and lost that connection with our Father in heaven? And through the sacrifice of Jesus, he brought to us? That's a good question. That's a good question. And that's kind of like something that I've learned, okay? Jesus himself, he said that, first of all, God didn't just create us human beings, right? There's other beings all over the universe. They, they're known as UFOs, aliens and stuff. I know them by their species. Some of them, I just know a few of them. The Pleiadians, Arcturians, the Dracos. The Dracos they were bad. And there's still so many of them that need to be, But anyway, those are like stuff like that. Adam and Eve, right? He says, no, it didn't start with Adam and Eve. That has become a myth from what they were teaching way back 2,000 years ago, or actually longer than that, because that's when Moses and Muhammad were, So the things they taught, they have been, I don't want to say outdated, but they have been manipulated. And through time, right? And it's not that people were trying to say the wrong thing, but people were trying to get the society back then to believe what they were saying, right? How did it all start? It had to start from somewhere. So I don't know exactly, because I don't know, I wasn't there, but it didn't start with just Adam and Eve. Okay, that I know. Different races, because, okay, you look at it this way. And this was a hard one that I always believed in Adam and Eve too. I always believed in Adam and Eve. Okay, maybe there was Adam and Eve, right? Okay, but, they have a baby, right? Because it's just them two. Okay, they have a baby. See, it's a girl. Now what, the girl is going to be having sex with the daughter? Or say it's a boy. Now the little boy's going to be having sex with the mom? See how kind of crooked that is? And then, okay, now the brother's going to be having sex with the sisters and stuff. See, so that's what always, like, I can't see that. It's like, nah, I can't see myself having sex with my brother and stuff like, nah. So that's, and they explained that, like, no, that's not what happened. Uh, created, God created different races, different, not just two people. He created a bunch. Like, whew, I'm thinking, good, I'm glad we're having kinks between each other, but no, it didn't start with that. Okay, so I hope I answered your question. Okay, and Father in heaven, through the sacrifice of Jesus, he brought back to us. Okay, this is a big question right here. Thank you for, and like I said, Robert, I hope you believe me because I am not lying. I'm telling you what I know. See, and this happened to me, as you guys kind of caught a little bit. I had to give up my land. It was 10 acres. I had to give up my land. I was about to put a house on there, and you know what? It didn't work out. Why didn't it work out? Right? I was doing so good, right? I was able to keep my truck. I was able to keep my Harley. I was able to keep my semi. Okay, my semi needs maintenance. Okay, I got a bill on that. Okay, I got that. Got my land. Why wasn't I able to keep my land? Because I had torn, and I'm getting back to Jesus in a minute, because I didn't have anybody. It was just me, right? So I got my pickup and I started trying to pull out this tree so I can put the mobile home there, right? And as I was doing that, it was a big pine tree. As I was doing it, I wrapped some straps around it, tied it to my bumper, and I'm trying to yank the tree out with my truck. Well, like I said, while I was doing that, I ended up finding a big, like a snake skin. The snake had shedded. Huge. I mean, this is probably like about 8 feet. Huge. I thought to myself, oh my God, there's a huge snake here. I stopped it, right? Like, okay, I don't, yeah, a snake that big, like, yikes. So, I just left the straps there, and, I thought, if anything, I'll come back later with some help or something. I was never able to get back there. Well, I had damaged the tree, right? And I didn't kill the tree, but at the same time, my meaning to take out that tree was to build a home, to build a nice landscape. Okay, landscapers, they pull out trees, right? I used to be a, what do you call it? Yeah, not landscaping. I talk to Barry all the time about this. I used to work on the base. Groundskeeper. I used to be a groundskeeper. Anyway, I used to have to trim and stuff like that, bushes and stuff like that. But, okay, this time I'm trying, to yank the tree out, right? Well, I didn't successfully yank it completely out because, I didn't want to deal with a huge rattlesnake. So I left. Shortly after, I lost the land. Listen to this. Listen to this. Jesus didn't die for our sins. I'll repeat again. He did not die for our sins. And again, I'm not lying. I cannot lie. I can't. This is what I've been taught. While Jesus was preaching and stuff, he was frustrated because people didn't believe him, which, like my sister, she frustrated me. Like, you believe what you believe. I'm like, It's not about belief. It's about, I'm trying to tell you guys that, if you need help, let me know. And so he was frustrated. And he went to, there was this olive tree. And he grabbed a fruit from the olive tree. And he ate it. And it was real bitter. It, it was not good. Put an awful taste in his mouth. He cursed the tree. He says, "May you never bear fruit again." That's what he told the tree. He was surprised that the next day that tree shriveled up and died. That was one. That's like me when trying to take out the tree. I ended up losing my land because of that. Trees are important, right? But I didn't do it I wasn't cursing the tree. I was trying to rearrange furniture there. So, okay, I could have been, like, I'm not going to be crucified. And the second one, because there's three of them. The second one was when he told Peter, when Peter told him, I'll never forsake you. And he told Peter, you will when you hear the third rooster crow, in the morning. And yeah, he'll forsake him 3 times when he hears the rooster crow in the morning. And that happened, right? And so he put that on Peter, right? And then the third one was with Judas. He assigned Judas because, like I said, Jesus had these powers that nobody had, right? That he discovered them. That other people were like, wow, you're like, and they thought he was evil because of that. But like what happened with Judas is he knew Judas was going to betray him. He knew it. He sent him to go betray him. That's hard to believe, isn't it? That is like, wait a minute. That is like, huh? So, yes, and that was the third one. And because he did that 3 times, they crucified him. Like I said, he killed the tree. What did the tree do? The tree didn't do anything. What did Peter do? Peter was being faithful to him. So was Judas. And Judas ended up killing himself, committing suicide. That's why he was crucified. He didn't die for our sins. He'll tell you he didn't die, but the way it was turned around, people thought that through the centuries, through the Bible, through everything, that he died for our sins. See, and there's no punishment in heaven. None. Heaven is 1 trillion, bazillion, gazillion times love. It's love, love, love. There's no punishment at all. But anyway, that's one of the things I've learned. Okay, whether you believe me or not, that's one of the things I've learned. I found it very interesting. Okay, I'll go to the next question. Did Atlantis exist before the flood? And how? And now it sits under the Atlantic. I don't know if it, time-wise, I don't know the time-wise. See, because there was another civilization before Atlantis that is completely gone. But, the universe knows about it. It's Lamania. It's Because, like, okay, we're, how can I say, I guess we're the human civilization. I guess is that what we would call ourselves? Uh, Humanoids, we're human, right? There was the Atlanteans, and then there was the millennium. What did I say that? I'm a little mixed up. Anyway, yeah, that one was before Atlantis. I don't know a lot about that, but I just know that was before Atlantis. And Atlantis, they got, what do you call it? They discovered the people in Atlantis. It started to get like it is now, right? Where there's a lot of crime and corruption and, stuff like that. But they had found this power that Jesus had. So they started thinking they were gods. And, no, like I said, if Jesus would have turned that rock into a loaf of bread for him so he could eat, he would have been just as bad as the Atlanteans. And he would have perished right there. But he caught himself before that. That's how, because Jesus already knew about the Atlantis. I don't know if they came before the flood or not, which came first. I'm thinking it was before the flood. The reason why I say that is because over here in the United States, I know you're from a different country, there's, like in the Southwest, there used to be like almost like an ocean there. It was a huge, huge lake, almost the size of Arizona. That's how big it was, right? And that's been discovered by, what do you call those? Geologists and stuff like that. And you can see the evidence that there was a river there. That's how the Grand Canyon became, because the water just rushed from the high level that it was all the way down to ocean level, and it went through Arizona. And Arizona, the ground, it just caved in because the water was going so fast. That's how that happened, right? But there are some things that I know for a fact that is, that has nothing to do with, because I see it. I've been to the Grand Canyon, and I've driven through the beautiful landscape of the Southwest. Okay, next question. Oh, good. Yeah. Afternoon. Sorry, I'm late. You're not late. You're never late, James. And then, would you believe a carpenter or a trucker? Most truckers are full of that. Like I said, you don't need to be rocket science to be, credible. Like, yeah, Jesus was a carpenter. Exactly. That's why nobody believed him. Like, oh yeah, you're nothing. You just go make a table or something like that, right? And yeah, the frustration that you get, that's how I got, like, how come nobody believes me? And so that's why I'm making this video, because I'm telling you right now, to say something that I'm a warrior of light to an archangel and lie about that, oh, I would be doomed. I would be, yikes, I would never do that. Never, never. And I'm a warrior of light for the rest of my life, until Archangel relieves me from my duty, and still, I'm still granted his protection. That's the only way I can get out of this. It's the only way I want to get out of this, right? But I got to tell you, it's not easy. It's not just like, oh, yay, yay, you know, like, it's you got to be on your toes. You got to be smart. I'm not all that smart. I'm glad I didn't smoke a lot of pot either. I'm glad I quit when I was a teenager. I believe pot makes you stupid, by the way. Anyway, whether you guys believe that or not, that's up to you. But I'm not, what I'm saying, if you guys believe me, thank you. Thank you. If you guys don't believe me, that's up to you. I'm not going to force my beliefs onto anybody. Okay? Okay. Carpenter truckers. That's a good one. What if someone put up fake lights in order for you to crash in the rocks? Robert, you are asking some good questions. That's another thing. That's what I was like afraid of. Like, I'm driving and I'm thinking, what? Archangel's trying to get hold of me? Like, yeah, right. Sure. Like, what does he want with me, right? Not to mention, like I said, I thought Archangel Michael was untouchable, right? And like to talk to an archangel, especially the one to come and talk to you, like you gotta be somebody with prestige, like 4-star general or something. And so I thought, no, this is somebody trying to scam. This is some video thing going on and stuff. So I was going through a lot of, on the web, not to mention the web, the the technology that we have was created by God. Okay, it was created by the Almighty. But what's happened is it's been hijacked by a lot of people that with bad intentions. So you have to be careful, because we have evolved into this, and this was meant for us to enjoy. I'll get to the kids in a minute. But yes, it is a gift from from the universe, the iPhones, the GPSs, the all this electrical stuff, remotes and everything. It's a gift. Enjoy it. Treat it with respect. These hackers out there that and what do they call trolls and stuff, they have nothing but bad intentions. And with Archangel Michael, he says that. And I'm thinking to myself, yeah, right, this is, some guy trying to hack me and stuff. Well, I listened to some other videos, I listened to some other podcasts, I listened to some other stuff, and it just kept coming back to him, right? Coming back to him. And then he's explaining, see, I told you, like, don't claim that I'm telling you this because that's not what happened and stuff like that. Really detailed stuff. You really had to like use your marbles to put 2 and 2 together. You know what I mean? So yes, there are people that are trying to be fake. Robert, James, and whoever else is in here, you guys know me. I'm not fake, okay? I'm a real person. Real wood there, I'm just kidding, not wood. But, I'm a real person. You see me out here working. I'm not doing this for views from YouTube or nothing. I'm not trying to get fame and fortune and stuff like that. Um, I've told you guys 100 times, I love you, and I've said it from my heart every time. So, you know, like, yeah, if it's gonna be fake, I would know. I'm not saying that I'm your go-to person there. I'm just saying if it was fake, I would know because I would be warned about. So, like, if you listen to like the news a lot, beware because they put a lot of bad energy in your head. The world's bad, the weather's bad, the economy's bad, the world's going to end and stuff. No, it's not. No, it's not. Um, there's war, they're going to have nukes and everything. There's not going to be no nukes. All the nukes have been defused. If Putin wanted to try to bomb, throw one of his nukes out, it would be a dud. Um, I've been told that over and over and over again. So I'm telling you that. They also told me not to, I'm not a teacher, like I said, but they also told me to share what I know. Okay. So that's what I'm doing. I'm just sharing what I know. If you guys believe me, that's up to you. Like I said, if you don't, at least be courteous and respectful. But you guys are. I'm not saying you guys are not. Mohammed lived in the. Oh, really? Yeah, I don't really know a whole lot about Mohammed. Um, I know about Muhammad and Moses and you know Enoch, and I know a lot about them. I just don't know their time when Noah and all that. I don't really know how they fell in place in time. Um, I'll find out, I guess, soon enough. um, so yeah, if you know that, you know, every little bit of knowledge helps. To share our knowledge is a gift, and I gotta admit that that's coming from me. If you have something to share that is going to be good for everybody, if you have some good news, if you have some news that even is not like good news, that like, wait a minute, there's you know the road just caved in over there, you don't want to go over there, you know what I mean, news like that, okay, it's always good to share, right? It's not like, yeah, well, there's a tank over there and he's gonna blow everybody up, and like the tank might be sitting there in a museum or something, right? like like, okay, that's not news, that's like bullshit. But good news is always, wisdom, it's always good to share. Okay. And he says in the Bible, Cain married his sister. Yeah, Cain, and I'll tell you about Cain and where's the other one? Jacob? Is it Jacob and Cain? I know it's with a J, I think. See, like, that's another little thing that I know. What happened there was, see, back then, sure, the population was just starting. There wasn't a lot of people. But because what Cain, correct me if I'm wrong, I'm going to say Jacob. Cain, the two brothers, when one killed the other, Um, see, God, when this world started, there was no hate, there was no evil, there was no darkness, there was nothing like that, right? It didn't start with Adam and Eve. Uh, sure, Adam and Eve bit the bite. I'm, you know, she bit the apple, something like that. I don't exactly know when that happened, but there was no. But because she bit an apple, it didn't all of a sudden change the world into darkness. Mm-mm. The way it happened was something that, okay, this world was nothing but love, right? The whole planet Earth was nothing but love. There was no darkness. What I mean by darkness is evil. There was none of that. Nothing. And what they were both doing, one brother was herding sheep and for the clothing, right? And the other one was farming for food. Well, one brother killed the other out of anger, thinking that, um, get out of my stuff. I'm trying to survive. So I need this to survive, and you're interfering. So, get out of the way, and he killed them. So it turned out to be like, the Almighty. He realized that's how the humans are reacting. So they're going to fight to survive, right? So, which wasn't a bad thing. It wasn't, okay, we need to survive. Because before everybody was, and we still are as one, but everybody was together. But one brother got angry and killed the other brother. Well, the other brother couldn't do anything because he was dead. This one brother, he felt really bad, but he survived. So that's what started us into eating meat. And then the animals, because animals were not eating each other. The animals were. Everybody was just eating off planet Earth. Well, what happened? The animals, they realized, like, hey, why are you killing, our species to the humans, right? And, so they became mean towards the human. That's why there's some vicious animals. That's why there's like rattlesnakes and scorpions and um, deadly animals that will kill us. That's why. That's why we eat meat also. But that started way back with um, Jacob. I think it's Jacob and Cain. That's where that started. But and so see, but animals weren't. The animals were just like, what are these people doing, right? So the animals just had to evolve like we did. We basically changed the page in a selfish way. And so since then, like the animals were not meant to be there to this day. They're not born. How can I put it? The animals, they're born, right? But they're not supposed to be born to be eaten like they are now, right? And so and me, myself, I've always been a big meat eater, right? I've, I don't eat beef anymore. I don't. Um, I'm still eating, I stopped eating pork a long time ago, but every now and then, I'll get a sausage sandwich or something like that. But, like chicken is basically, I'm ending it with chicken. it's what I put in my body that needs to, that's one of the other things that a totally different video. But anyway, that's what that happened there. Okay, with what's his name, Cain, and I want to say Jacob. I think it was Jacob. Jesus said, if you don't believe Moses, you don't believe me. Exactly. Because Moses is a master. Moses is like Jesus. He's an ascending master. What I mean by that is, in fact, I'll save it for the next time. Right? He's an ascending master. I don't know what color of ray, because they have different colors, right? Each color means something. Blue, there's a blue ray, there's a yellow ray, there's a white ray, there's a pink ray. So there's the violet ray. I can share the violet ray because that's me sharing the protection, right? Yes, I can tell you I love you. That's a pink ray. And I can share that, yes, you're protected. And that comes from my heart, right? And that's like the violet ray. But, there's a lot to learn on that. And, okay, the olive tree represents the Jews. Yeah, I didn't know about that, The resurrection, Jesus also asked Peter 3 times, do you love me? Care for my sheep? Yeah, exactly. And see, some of the stuff that's in the Bible is true, but some of it is not, because some of it they manipulated. One of the things that I just found out, like, was it yesterday? Yeah, because yesterday it's like Jesus was angry about beauty. It seemed to me like he was, it's not that he was angry, but he's talking about only in planet Earth we beautify ourselves. But he's talking also at the same time like discrimination, right? Okay, like he says, like, what's the difference between having sex with a beautiful person or an ugly person? It's the same thing, right? So don't discriminate. That's basically what he was saying. But he did a long thing about that yesterday. He said a long thing about that yesterday. Let's see, where am I? Robert, what about the Lord's Prayer? We're told the prayer for our Father will be done and kingdom to come on earth. Where are we told to pray to go to heaven? As far as I know, the Lord's Prayer is true. That's what Jesus said. I probably have to get back with you on that one, because I haven't heard anything about the Lord's Prayer. And but right there I'm going with my beliefs, right? I can't answer that one 100%, but I'm thinking to myself, the Lord's Prayer is authentic. That's what Jesus said. Yeah, that's like I said, you're on it, Robert. You're on it. Thank you for the questions. Revelation 21, God's kingdom comes down from heaven, and God tent with mankind. Where? all over the world. All over the world. But what I mean by that is, let me get my legs falling asleep here. What I mean by that is it's all over the world, but it's in a different dimension. Okay, like you see a helicopter, right? And you see a helicopter flying in the air. The difference between a helicopter that's sitting on the ground with just off, you can see the propellers, right? When it's flying in the air, you can't see the propellers. They become invisible. That's like we live in the third dimension right now. And the fifth dimension is where we would go, right? The fourth dimension is kind of like a passageway. And we got to get through the fourth dimension. The fourth dimension is when all the things you've done in your life, and not only this life, in past lives, say you were a rapist, say you were, a hater, a discriminator, say you were mean to pets, say you were, a drug dealer, say you, whatever. You have to go through an ascension and clean all that stuff out to get to the fourth. And the fourth dimension, that's when you come in. And the lower fourth dimension is, if you don't clean all that stuff out, you're going to go through a lot of nightmares. You're going to go through really rough, and it's going to hurt. Whether you drank a lot, whether you, didn't take care of your body, you're going to feel the pain until you get to the upper fourth, where you're cleansed, right? Where you're completely clean, because before you can get to the fifth dimension, you need to be almost 99.9% 100 to 100 cleansed, right? And that's from the bad things we've done. Remember I said there's no punishment in heaven. There's only, let me put it this way. A lot of people believe in karma, right? Okay, I did something this, sure, it's going to come back to me in time, kind of like when I did that to the tree. I lost my land with Jesus. He cursed the tree. He ended up getting crucified. He got crucified, to the extreme, because he was like way up there. Me, I'm just a truck driver, just trying to do stuff like that, totally thinking about something else, but I destroy this, so of course I'm not going to get crucified. Well, what happened is there's like, how can I say it? Okay, I'll have to come back to that in a little while. Okay. This is getting long. Oh my goodness. Okay. Oh, the dimensions. Yeah. Okay. So when you get to a dimension, see, we go through ascension, and that's where we're not being punished. We're not being judged. It's a lesson that we're learning. Because if we don't learn that lesson about, okay, for example, say you have a dog, right? Or a rooster, right? And you've heard of the fighting cocks and stuff, right? We'll go with that. And say you're doing that, and you got a champ, right? Little gorgeous George here, he's a champ, and he's all beat up. He's getting all bloodied up, and he's killing other roosters, winning you money, right? For your own personal arrogance. Well, what? God? What? Jesus? What? Forget that. I want to win some money, right? Well, through that lifetime, you and the rooster are going to reincarnate, and this time you're going to be the rooster getting in all the fights, right? And being slaved and getting beat up. Uh, that's karma, right? In a big picture from one lifetime to another. That's we believe that, except we believe it in a smaller scale. Like, yeah, okay, I went and flattened that guy's tire. Okay, I'm going down the road, I'm going to get a blowout, right? So basically, or if yeah, I gave that guy money, I helped him out, and now I need help, so okay, I'll get help, right? That's like karma. Well, that's what's like the what do you call it? That's how it works, right? And when people they believe that, but yet when you carry bad energy, like the guy who, uh, has the rooster, and sure, that's his fighting cock, right? Well, he's not going to hell. He's going to live another life. He's going to struggle for another, who knows how long he's going to live, until he learns, and it'll be over and over and over until he finally wakes up that, okay, this is not good. I shouldn't be getting animals to fight each other. I should work for my money honestly, stuff like that, right? I should start caring for animals. Not to mention, the animal won't go to the fifth dimension either. The animal will have to live through, like, through the life again. So he's not only doing it, making it worse for himself, he's making it worse for for the animals that he enslaved. And that's really sad. But there's no heaven. There's no evil in heaven. There's no hell. Hell has been created by man to use as a fear for us and this is what all the religions did. Every single last religion that's ever been, that we know about. This includes Christians. I know. I was a Christian. I know. Like, it's hard. Some of the stuff is hard that I learned. But they put fear into us because we've been lied to for centuries and centuries that there's a hell. No, it's in our own imagination. There is a good and there is a bad. That's it. But we come to Earth to learn. That's all we come to. And if we're going to really, really be bad, there's this species that's called, what is it? It's not the Dracos. It's the Dracos, and then there's the reptilians, right? They were rulers. They looked like lizard people, right? And they were chased off the planet in 1963. They were chased out of the planet in 1963 because you remember World War One, World War Two, Napoleon, the Vikings, all that time before us, and just coming close to the 60s with all the slavery that was happening, between the white people and black people and stuff, and the way the people took away the land from the Native Americans and stuff. Well, a lot of those people were the ones that were, you know, taking away all that stuff. Not the victims, the ones that were taking away all the stuff were, what do you call it? Reptilians. They didn't have, like, okay, like the George Washington days and stuff. There were a lot of reptilians back then. There are no more. There's a few of them, but they've learned their lesson and they're being civilized now. But it's because they betrayed the Almighty. And they said they're going to be good, and they ended up not. That's one of the down, because the reptilians were, that's how they destroyed Atlantis. Because of, is the Syrians and the reptilians. So, different species. Like I tell you, I mean, I've learned so much. No nukes exist at all. They're there, but they're duds. They're not, nobody's going to blow anybody up, or everyone playing mind games under each other. Yep, that's what it is. They're playing mind games. We'll only know if one is used. Did the Americans nuke Japan? Well, there was a fucking radiation. Well, when that happened, right, that was a wake-up call, because everything, okay, with the Civil Wars, with World War II and stuff, okay, it was, you know, kind of like fistfights, you know what I mean? Guns were invented, okay, stuff like that, but nothing of mass destruction was invented, right? The guy who created the gas chamber for Hitler, he was a Jew. He ended up committing suicide because it was against his own people. So, yeah, that got destroyed, right? But like when the U.S. bombed Japan, that was a wake-up call. Like, what the hell are these human beings doing? They will never let that happen again. Just like what happened with Atlantis. They will never let that happen again. So that's why there's no nukes. That's why there's, like, remember I told you about the kids, right, earlier? The kids nowadays, okay, Robert, if you're still in there, you and I are basically from the same generation. With our iPhones, with computers, we need help. It's a little bit, how do you do this? How do you do that, right? You ask a 10-year-old kid like that, right? He picks it up. Boom. You know, like, wow, how'd you do that? Well, the kids that are being born now, okay, the kids, I think it's from 1976, I think. Yeah, because my daughter's born in 1978. She just missed it. But like 1970, I'm sorry, 1980, 1986, not 1976, 1986. Those kids, like our kids and grandkids and stuff, they started coming in. There's a name for them, I don't know what. And I'm not talking about like the X generation or something like that. Those kids they've come in from different parts of the universe. That's one of the reasons why, because of the nukes, because of what the United States did to Japan, because Mother Earth realized they're trying to destroy me here. What the heck are they doing? So Mother Earth is a living being. It's a living, just like you and I. We live on Mother Earth. Mother Earth is alive. You know, we don't feel a heartbeat or nothing, but we see the oceans move. We see the clouds move and stuff. It's alive, right? Well, Mother Earth sent out, a cry for help and says, these people are, they're getting out of hand. So um, that will never happen again. Um, they have been, like Putin, it's a mind game. It's bluff. It's not going to, he may not even know it. Little rocket man over there in North Korea. He's playing, he thinks he's playing with fire, but yet his fireworks don't work, when it really comes down to it. Sure, he might blow up a ship, okay, something like that, but something of mass destruction, that's not going to happen. And like, again, I'm not lying. That this is what I've been taught. This is what I've been told. This is what, if you guys want to believe me, that's totally up to you. Anyway, Cain killed his brother Abel. That's his name, not Jacob. Their other brothers was called Seth. Yes, yes. I couldn't remember those names. Thanks, Jason Rules. Hi, Jason. How are you doing? We are all not surviving. Yeah, we are. We're surviving. I know I'm surviving. Robert, blood sacrifice was asked by God, but Cain thought vegetables would be good enough. God rejected the vegetables, so asked Cain, you want blood sacrifice? Here's Abel. Okay. Was it Muhammad or where he took his son up and presenting it to God and was going to sacrifice his son, remember? That's when God said, no sacrificing blood. No, that's not good. And like what's in the Bible on that part right there might be a little mind-boggling, might be a little twisty. I don't know. I'm not going to say, I'm not going to put my thumbprint on anything right now, okay? Because I'm not reading, I don't got the Bible to read it. So, but I know that when, I forgot who it was. I got so much in my head, and I'm trying to spur it out. But yeah, that's when he didn't kill his son, right? And because blood sacrifices and animal sacrifices were and still are part of the darkness, because that's what the darkness, as it started, it grew, right? And it grew and it grew and it grew. And I'm talking hatred, discrimination, murder, rape, slavery, all that, it'll grow. Anger, road rage, all that stuff will grow. Okay? So that is that's a fact. And, I've always known that one. Okay, Jason, put the meat or animals down for men and grow and survive and to multiply the animals that are prey versus predator is for balance of life. Well, okay, yeah, now that like I said, through the centuries, what, 2,000, 6,000, I don't know how many thousands of years, Cain and Abel and Seth were alive. Um, it has it written down in the Bible. I don't know. That's how accustomed we've become to eating meat. That's how accustomed animals have been to eating meat. That's going to take a while to change. It's not going to change overnight, right? Um, it's not like okay, I myself can stop eating sweets, right? Okay, sure, might take me a week or two, but no more donuts, no more sugar in my coffee, no more cake, no more cookies. It'll take a little bit. But eating meat is tough because it's not just us, it's also the animals. The animals. So everything will become in balance. Right now, the balance is off. You can't just force it. It needs to be back in balance completely. Okay. And then Jason rules. Let me see. Look, no disrespect to anyone. The Bible, in my opinion, has been modified throughout the centuries, that the true meaning has been interfered by mankind's interpretation. Exactly. That's no disrespect. No, you're not. That's true. That is so true. Being in a what do you call it? I want to get this right now. Being a warrior of light for Archangel, I have been studying and learning a lot, and you hit it bullseye right there, because that is true, and that was hard for me to believe. But if you really look at it, if you start analyzing it, okay, like I'll give you a quick one, right? Archangel Michael, right? And this was his words, not mine. This was his words. The people in this religion, right? There's a lot of them that want you to give tithings. Tithings are, give money for their sermons and stuff. Well, the Vatican, right? The Vatican is one of the richest places in the world. And like the Pope and all the cardinals and stuff, because Archangel Michael, this is not me, he's bashing religions, that how selfish they are. And he says, like, you see, he didn't say exactly the Pope, but I know who he meant. I forgot what word he used, but you see him with protection, with bodyguards and stuff. And Archangel Michael's response to that was, his opinion to that was, why all, what was it? Why all the protection? Why all, why all the glitter? Because that's not spreading God's word. That is not, the Pope is highly, highly guarded. Why? Like, why is there such a big wall around the Vatican? So, he puts it, when there's people, instead of spending all that money to protect one man, that money needs to go to the people who are hungry out there, who are hurting in life, who are sick, who are, the elder, the babies and stuff. That's what, like Archangel Michael, he was upset about that. Yeah. You know, like, I mean, I've learned some fascinating stuff. And that, tell me that's not true. Tell me that, if you can't see it that way, I don't know what to tell you, you know, like, you know, whether you believe in the Pope or not, I'm sure he's a nice guy. I got nothing against him, but it doesn't mean that Archangel Michael hates the Pope, nothing like that. It just means he's saying, why all the glitter? Why all that? You know, you don't need that to spread God's word. You don't need any of that. I don't know. Okay, your mind doesn't exist in the three-dimensional world, otherwise you wouldn't dream or be able to invent something. When you ask what is a chair, ultimately it exists as an idea and then was created by a man. I'd have to kind of disagree with you a little bit right there, Robert, because you know, we do have minds and we do invent and we do live in the third dimensional world. We have free will, and we are the creators of our own future. In other words, if I wanted to go to college, right, I would look on the internet, whether it's on the internet or go to a university or something. I created that, right? Okay, I'm a student now, right? If I wanted to become a, you know, a doctor, you know, I'd have to go to college. Eventually, I'd become a doctor. So I'd be creating. If I wanted to, you know, finish my shake, right? Right now, the present is I have, you know, about that much shake in there, right? That's what the present is. The future, this shake is going to be gone. I guarantee you. It's good. But see, I'm predicting the future. But see, like I said, I created the future right there by drinking it. Okay, so that's in the small scale. The big scale, we create our future because we, like, I can create my future for the next 5 months, right? In 5 months, let's say I'm gonna get married. Let's say I have a boyfriend and, you know, I'm gonna get married. Okay, in 5 months, we set the date. Voila, there it is. That's how easy it is to create, right? But yeah, we do create, and this is the third dimension world. We have free will. Robert, stop drinking the orange beer. Jason, how come you don't have a moderator? There you go. Uh, there you go, Jason. I put you as a moderator, okay? You didn't have a blue wrench. I gave you that because I've seen you here before. So you're awesome. Thank you. I love you. Not to mention, everybody's on my channel. I spread love like crazy, okay? That's what love is for, to spread. Robert, okay, okay, this is just a little bit. Robert, the ideas become 3D if you had the idea and didn't fulfill it, then forget about it when you did the chair go. No, because the chair's still there. Yeah, we live in a material world. the fifth dimension, I don't exactly know what it's like yet. They've told me about it. It's still hard for me to grasp my mind around it. I'm struggling with that one. Let me put it that way. It's not that, we're all going to the fifth dimension sooner or later, right? We're all going to ascend sooner or later. Just like death, we're all going to die sooner or later. It's part of life. Death is nothing to be afraid of. It's just a transformation is what it is. Because from, being born is a transformation from not being born. I don't know what we were before, but like from being a being. Yeah, there you go. See, my mind just left. From being a being, like a human being, right? Not a pinto bean, not a green bean. I mean, bean, right? Okay, so being a bean, we become a human. Okay, then it's a transformation when the baby is in the womb and it grows in the mother, comes out, and then it becomes, that's a transformation. The same thing like death. It's the same thing. It's just the end, whether you grow old or whether it's an accident or a sickness or whatever. For whatever reason you end up passing away, so there's nothing to be afraid of. Am I afraid to die? Like I said, there's a lot of things that I've never experienced, right? How do I know if I'm afraid to die if I've never done it before? Then again, have I done it before? And when we're born, our mind gets wiped clean. Like we don't have a memory anymore. We have to learn it all over again. That's why they call it Earth School. And you have to learn and learn. And if you're going to keep making the same mistakes, living life after life, sometimes it takes a while. Like, see, and also in heaven, the upper dimensions, there's no sense of time. Time doesn't exist. That's one reason why we call it forever. Because it doesn't exist. Here, it exists, right? We live by time. We schedule ourselves. We go to sleep. We wake up. And going to sleep is, like I said, that's another video. When you're asleep and when you're not. Whew. I gotta tell you last night right quick. I, for the first time, met some beings from another planet. And thing is, I saw what they looked like, but I had to stop. I woke up and had to go pee. like, oh man! Yeah, I guess that's me, huh? Like, wait, I'll be back. Like when I came back, they were gone. Anyway, yeah, it was funny. Anyway, Robert, okay. Abraham and his son Isaac. There you go. See, you know your stuff. I know all this stuff. It's just that I've been learning a lot of other stuff now. Like, if you ask me about the history of my country, I'm gonna get a lot of things wrong. You know, like Grant, who is that? Cary Grant? You know, you know, Reagan wasn't he an actor? You know, stuff like that. You know, so yeah, there's so many things that I have learned, and they're fresh in my memory. So those are the things that are fresh, and the things that are like in the Bible and stuff. I'm telling you, as I'm being taught, because some of the stuff that I'm being taught takes me to that point in the Bible. But like the dates in the Bible, the phrases, the the parables and stuff. Parables I can tell you. But if you ask me a parable that Jesus said, I couldn't tell you because it's not fresh in my mind. But you're on it, Robert. You're on it. You've always been a smart man. Robert, Abraham and his son Isaac. That is why Abraham was blessed, because he was prepared to sacrifice his son, like Yahweh. Not Yahweh. Okay. Actually, he did. The ultimate blood sacrifice was Jesus. But like I said, actually it wasn't Jesus. They put a stop to human and animal blood sacrifices. And I'll tell you why. Because this is something that you need to know. If you cut yourself, if you say you nick your finger, or like my sister, what just happened to her. Her husband, he like poked himself with some straw or something, right? Well, I'm not gonna judge her husband, although I have my feelings about him. I love him just the same and everything, but I'll tell you right now, because how can I say it? He's like all into the Bible, right? But at the same time, right after, saying grace, he's going to go smoke a joint, right? So in one hand, he's holding the Bible, in the other hand, he's holding the joint. That kind of guy, right? So, like I said, I'm not trying to judge, but there are people like that. I don't think, Robert, I don't think you're like that. He got a nick. So I know he was unprotected, because that nick that he got infected, and it it put him in a coma for a little bit. And the same thing happened to my sister, because they were unprotected. That's why I said, like Archangel Michael and me, I'm protected. If I were to get a nick or something, I gotta I'm protected, right? I'm not going to get infected or something like that. That's why. And I tried telling that to my sister, but she comes around and tells me, well, you believe what you believe. I'm a nurse, right? So like, okay, that's how Jesus felt. Yeah, like, I'm just a truck driver, what do I know, right? Jesus was like, yeah, I'm just a carpenter, what do I know? Like, so anyway, back to the blood thing. They stopped that because they realized that anytime you bleed, anytime, and this doesn't um, with girls, women in their periods, that's exempt, right? That doesn't include them. Um, don't get me into that part, please, okay? But I'm talking about blood right now, but not. Anyway, that's for another time. Anyway, like say you cut yourself, and or you get punched and get a bloody nose or something. You've heard of this, I'm sure you guys have heard of this, about sharks in the water, and if you were to be bleeding, they would smell blood, and they all of a sudden you're surrounded by sharks, right? Because they smell blood. Well, the same thing goes for the dark spirits. Like I said, I have respect for them. It's the dark spirits, which I mean the evil spirits. They smell blood, and they realized, God realized that's what's happening, right? So he had to put a stop to that animal and what do you call it? Animal and human sacrifice, blood sacrifice. So, like I said, Jesus didn't. When they beat him up, they bloodied him up, and then they crucified him. What he did that on himself. That was a hard one for me to swallow. He did that, and he even says, "I didn't die for your sins. I know why I died." He says, "I died because the things I did." And not to mention, when he came into this, when he came into life, it was already set that he was going to die. He just didn't know how. So when that happened, then he realized, okay, now I know how I'm going to die. And it was a painful death for him, because he did some things. But no, the blood sacrifices for people and animals, that is totally wrong about the Bible. That I know. Okay. Okay, and Corinthians 2 Corinthians 11:14. No wonder, for Satan himself masqueraded as an angel of light. Yeah. Can I tell you something about Jesus walking on water? Right. He said, "I didn't mean to walk on water." He says he was asleep. He was asleep on the beach, right? And because his disciples were out fishing, and he was asleep, and the waves, it got really rough, and like I said, he knew how to. He had these, I want to say magical powers, but they're powers from God, and he knew how to use them. And he was asleep. This is kind of like a funny story about Jesus walking on water. And so, he woke up because he heard them crying out, "Jesus, Jesus," right? So he woke up, and he was rushing to them, not realizing that he was ascending, that, he was, he just started going. It didn't matter where, who, what, when, why, how, nothing. But he was walking on the water, like, and they looked at him like, "Wow, you're walking on water." And then he realized, okay, well, that's when he told them, "You have to have faith." you know, and yes, because he was ascending, and then he started walking to them, and then he realized that, oh, okay, I'm on water, and so I think it was Peter, he told Peter to stand on the water, and Peter started to sink and stuff. He said, have faith, or something like that, right? But yeah, that's what it was. That was like, I thought that was funny. Jesus said that, not me. um, anyway, John 3:16. Yep, that's a good one too. For God so loved the world that he gave his one and only Son, that whoever believes in him shall not perish but live eternal life. Yep, yep. Um, but it's not that he gave his one and only Son, because we are also God's children. So Jesus isn't the only Son. Jesus said that, not me. He says, you're children of God too. Don't forget that. He says, so no, I am not the only one. But like I said, he learned the power that we each have the same power. It's just that Jesus, he mastered it. He learned it. He's a quick learner, and he mastered it right away. And he started, in my words, started freaking everybody out. And everybody started saying, like, yeah, you're from the devil, and stuff like that. But anyway, because we have the same powers. And we need to, like I said, we're going through school just like Jesus did. We're here walking on earth, right? We're here eating meat. We're here eating. He was a carpenter, a truck driver, It's the same thing. So he's not a God, and he wasn't the only Son. And, God didn't give him up. It's that Jesus put it upon himself that, what he did with the tree and with Peter and with Judas, basically like karma, it came back on him, right? Jesus said that, not me. Not in so many words, but anyway. What is the first and second dimension? That one still confuses me too. Like, okay, we're in third dimension. The first dimension was like in the primitive days, right? When it's hard for me to explain that one. I might have to get back with you on that one, so that I'm I'm telling you the right thing. The first and second, I know it had to go back to like way back before Moses, right? Before, when everything just started. And not to mention, the first dimension, when everything just started, like I said, the planet was nothing but love. I don't know. See, like I said, I'm a little mixed up on that one. I'll get back. I want to, because I know that I've been told that before, and it just kind of like went through, over my head. I wasn't paying attention really good on that one. But, like, we've reached the third dimension, right? We have our own free will, and that's why God, the Almighty, can't just destroy, stop the war like that. That's why he can't just, take all the bad people off, because he respects everyone's free will. He gave us free will, so he's sticking to his story, right? Like, that's his story, and he's sticking to it, right? Okay, and I'll get back with you on that one, James. Okay, thanks for that question. God's kingdom, Robert, God's kingdom descends, nobody's, okay, God's kingdom descends, I lost my place here, I'm sorry, nobody ascends. Revelation 21, chapter 2, I saw the holy city, the new Jerusalem, coming down out of heaven from God's, prepared as a bride beautifully dressed for her husband. I don't know about that one, right? I don't know what Revelation 21 is. I saw the holy Jerusalem. Yeah, I can't answer that one. I'll have to pass on that one. I'm sorry, Robert. And then, Robert, third dimension length, breadth, and height of 2, I don't know what that something R is. Third dimension length, breadth, or height. Okay, like the dimensions, right? Like I said about the helicopter, right? There's dimensions that are 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th. It just goes up and up and up. I don't know how high it goes. I don't know if it's 200. I don't know if it's 5,000. I just know that right now I know about the 3rd, 4th, and 5th dimension. That's what I've been learning right now. And there are people that, okay, like, let me put it this way. If you pray to a saint, right? You know, you guys know saints. I know saints. You know, I believe in saints and stuff. Mother Teresa is probably a saint, right? I don't know if she is or not. I don't know if they turn into sainthood or not. But okay. Okay, let's say the average Joe, right? I'm not gonna pick on anybody of you guys. The average Joe. Okay, we're in the 3rd dimension. Okay, we're just smoking a cigarette, drinking a beer, prostitutes, cuss words. Okay, right? So you really can't pray to that dude or girl, right? It's like, okay, you can pray for them, but you're not gonna pray to them like you pray to the Almighty God, right? Like you pray to Jesus. People pray to saints, right? Okay. Which is become like a custom. I know in the Catholic religion, because I was raised Catholic. Then I became a Christian, and now things have really, totally changed for me. I can't even say I'm part of religion anymore. I honestly can't say that, because everything that I've learned. Okay, but like a saint, right? Okay. Well, I'm just going to say, for example, Mother Teresa. God bless her heart. I'm just picking on her for using her for an example. If I were to be praying to Mother Teresa, right? Please, Mother Teresa, can can you help me win the lotto? Can you, help me have a better life? Can you help me, you know, get rid of this abusive relationship or whatever, right? Well, Mother Teresa would hear you, first of all, but she really couldn't do anything because she hasn't gone to, as far as I know, and I'm just using Mother Teresa as an example, you need to go to the higher levels, right? The higher dimensions, right? I can only imagine maybe Mother Teresa is in the 17th dimension. Maybe she is in the 200th dimension. I don't know. But if you're like in the 5th dimension, okay, you're a good person. You're left all your baggage behind you in the 3rd dimension. All the bad things you've done, they're there, right? There's that dude that smokes in the corner, right? Okay. Left all that. Now, like, the saint is not way up there in the high dimensions. So, the difference between that and an archangel and an ascending master, like a master like Jesus, Muhammad, Moses, right? And there's a lot of other ones. There's El Moria. There's Mother Mary. There's Mary Magdalene. There's Lord Lanto. There's so many others that I'm still learning about. Like, wow, who are these ones? But I've met them in prayer, but I have yet to learn who they are and what about. And but I can pray to them because they are up there with Jesus. See, Jesus and like Archangel Michael. The Archangel Michael, he's like a commander, right? From all the other archangels, he's a commander. So that's why you hear more about Archangel Michael more than you hear more about Archangel Gabriel or Archangel Ariel or any of them, right? Well, there's another one that's called Archangel Metatron. He was a person that lived on Earth also, like Saint Germain. Saint Germain, if you don't know who Saint Germain was, he was Joseph, right? Mother Mary and Joseph, but taking care of baby Jesus. That was he was living as Joseph. Now he's become like Jesus and Mother Mary, a master, right? And like Metatron. Metatron is like the newest one that became an archangel. And there's in fact, on my page on the community, if you scroll down, there's a little thing about colors and archangels. Yeah, you can check it out. But yeah, it's very interesting. It's not very, and it's real. It's real. Let me see. But okay, like the saints, right? You can pray to them, which is good. Nothing wrong with them. Nothing wrong with that. Absolutely nothing wrong with praying to Mother Teresa, right? Or St. Anthony or St. Jude or any of the other saints out there. But they're not going to give you like the protection like Archangel Michael would. they would give you, let me put it this way, like Archangel Michael told me. A saint will give you armor, right? Around your body. Okay, you're protected. But an archangel, like Archangel Michael, like Jesus, like Mother Mary, they will give you protection for the universe. And that's the difference. It's like one person to, from here to, the other side of the universe. Wherever you go, you're going to be protected. That's the difference, right? And it also has to do with the dimensions they're in. The saints, I don't know anything how much they progressed. Like I said, Archangel Metatron, he progressed really fast. He ended up going and becoming an archangel in a short amount of time. That's impressive. That is like, how do you do that? Wow. That is like, to me, that is like jaw-dropping. But can I imagine myself doing that? He proved it could be possible. So there you go. Like I said, you don't have to believe me. But I'm talking from my heart. Telling you what I know. I'm allowed to tell you guys what I know. And I started this video with what it's like to be an armor of light. These are some of the things that I've learned, okay? And I am continuing learning. They are, like I said, I'm like a preschooler in all this. I have mountains and mountains and mountains of stuff to learn. Excuse me, but I'm happy, I'm excited about it. Let me see, let me read some of these. Where in the Bible does it say you can't smoke? Smoking causes your lungs, it destroys your lungs. That's like common sense, right? Smoking does not, there is no, if we were born to smoke, if we were created to smoke, we would be formed differently. Not to mention, smoke itself can be toxic. So, so you kind of got to put two and two together on that question there, okay? It doesn't really, like I said, the Bible was written by man, not by God. And Archangel Michael has told me that over and over. He says, the Bible is not written by God. He says, and Archangel Michael will never appear as, he'll never descend as a person, right? He'll never be like Jesus was. Archangel Michael, he says, I'll never do that. He just doesn't want to, for whatever reason. I don't know. But he has appeared, apparently, so that people know what he looks like, just like all the other archangels. Do they really have wings? I don't know. I've heard that people don't have wings, that's a myth. But I heard it from someone that I really didn't believe, that because he's claiming that this guy is claiming that, God is a man because it has a man's voice. Like, doesn't have a gender. God is everything, right? There's no gender. It's a creator, is what it is. The source. So how can that be a man sitting on a throne with a lightning bolt, all pissed off, right? Like, you sinned, like, that's a myth, right? But the wings angels have, I have yet to know about that. I don't know. I think they're beautiful. I myself, I find feathers all over the place. And these are feathers like when I'm going through, and they're not just pigeon feathers, they're not just, they are, ever find a feather in the snow? White snow? I found a feather. Where's any birds? There was no birds. But next to my foot is a feather. I don't have it. I haven't put it away. I'm thinking, how did this feather get here, right? Because I do believe angels have feathers, right? I don't know. I want to know more about that. Okay. I'm going to have to get going. I need the bathroom in a little bit. So I'm going to answer these right quick, and then I got to get going. Not to mention, they might call me for a load. Who is the bride and who is the husband? Well, did you know Jesus, okay, hold on, I'm putting on my shoes. Tell you a little bit something about Jesus. That would probably have to be Jesus and Mary Magdalene. Okay. John the Baptist, is Jesus' cousin. Well, this is Mary Magdalene talking. She was never a prostitute. Okay, can you hear me okay now? I'll tell you right quick, because I gotta go now. I'll tell you this little story. She was not a prostitute. She was going to school back then, and she was receiving money from her parents. She was a single girl, and she knew Jesus since they were kids. They both knew each other. And like I said, Jesus was just an ordinary guy. Well, Jesus found her, and they were trying to stone her. They were saying that she was a prostitute because she was getting a lot of money. And the only way back then even a single girl could get money is through prostitution. So Jesus put that to a stop. Mary Magdalene said that. Well, Jesus, John the Baptist, they somehow set it up where John the Baptist and Mary Magdalene got married. They didn't love each other. They weren't in love with each other. That's what I mean. Mary Magdalene was in love with Jesus, and Jesus was in love with Mary Magdalene. But they set it up where John the Baptist married her. Okay, well, then, they had a baby, right? While Mary Magdalene was pregnant, they cut off John the Baptist. They cut off his head, and they sent the head to Mary Magdalene. That's how cruel they were. That is like vicious. Yikes. And so John the Baptist, you know, he never saw the baby born, right? So that freed basically Mary Magdalene, and Jesus married her. And to this day, they have 2 children. So a total of 3 children, right? And they leave their kids out of it. They are off limits, right? That's the only thing I can ever tell you about Mary Magdalene and Jesus and their children. That's it. End of story, right? If I go any further than that, it means I'm lying because I don't know anymore. Because that's all I've been told. But Mary Magdalene said that to me. And okay, let me read these right quick. Who is the bride? Okay, I said that. Dimensions now are getting into the string theory. I'm not sure what you mean by that. Wow, you're off your wacky rocker. I've learned a lot, buddy. I've learned a lot. Or they're not dimensions, but planes. We live on the plane. And not an aeroplane that flies over planes. Flat Earth. Earth isn't flat. Jason, okay. He appears in Robert's Custard. You guys are going back to what I was saying. I gotta read these. I need the bathroom. Revelation 12. Then war broke out in heaven. Michael and angels fought against the dragon, and the dragon and his angels fought back. Well, did you know there's a white dragon, and it's around me. There's a white dragon. It's not a dark dragon. What I mean by dark is evil. And there was a war, but it wasn't. I've been told there have been wars, but I have been told wars they were from other beings, not from Archangel Michael. But at the same time, Archangel Michael has told me, yes, there have been wars, and they have been fought and stuff. So about Revelation 12, I don't really know about that. I don't know a lot about that one because that's all I got. Metatron's cube. Yep, Metatron's cube. Yep. The saints are all dead. Well, they're not dead. It's just that they're in heaven. They're good. They're not. Jason, oh my God, where are you getting this wild fable from? My heart. That's where I'm getting it from. Okay, so if you believe me, I'm not lying. It's coming from my heart. If you don't know Jason, I'm a warrior of light for Archangel Michael. And I cannot lie because I would be thrown out and never again, right? So, yes, the things that I've learned, like I said before, are true to my knowledge. I'm passing them. I'm just, letting you guys know what I know. You guys don't have to believe me. That is up to you. I'm not trying to make you guys believe in anything. It's hard for you to look some of this stuff up because there's so much corruption, there's so much different stories. What I've learned was from my own experience, just like Jesus did. He was trying to teach people from his own experience the same thing, right? I learned what Jesus has been learned, but I didn't have to go through the 40 days in the desert, right? I didn't have to go through, I'm not worried about being crucified. But if I do some of the things, yeah, I would be in really big trouble. So, yeah, it comes from my heart, okay? I love you guys, and because I love everybody unconditionally, okay? So, yeah, it's not, you know, as you guys might call it, bullshit. It's not stories made up. It's nothing like that. This is how can I say it? To my knowledge, and I've told you guys earlier in this, I'm an ordinary person. I'm a truck driver. I asked for knowledge and wisdom. I got it. If you guys want something, ask and you shall receive. It says that in the Bible, right? Ask and you shall receive. Well, I asked for knowledge. I got a universal knowledge. And not only that, a lot with that knowledge comes actual experiences that I've experienced now. And it's just the beginning for me. But I'm saying it's not easy. It's not, you're nuts, Dolly. God, 3011 doesn't go after P, go off for 2, okay? I don't know what you mean by that. Okay, smoking hasn't destroyed mine. So I call bullocks. What does bullocks mean? I don't know what that means. But it will, right? It's a slow process. Smoking. My aunt, she just passed away a couple of years ago. Not a couple of years, about 4 years ago, something like that. She smoked all her life, right? But towards the end, she died of cancer, right? And she ended up, and it was because of the smoking. So that has been medically proven, I mean scientifically proven. So that even has nothing to do with spiritual or God or nothing. That's like, you know, if you stick your finger in an electrical socket, you're going to get shocked, you know, like that's scientifically proven. Oh my God, dragons now? Did Harry Potter? No, I don't watch Harry Potter or something like that. I don't believe one single crap of this. Okay, well, that's up to you. Like I said, you don't have to believe me. Mind you, I don't have any answers either. Again, I don't believe man has modified I believe man has modified the scriptures to suit mankind through the centuries. Okay, OMFG, whatever that is. If what you say is all I got to do is ask, and I'm asking for Brian Brown to groan his teeth back and his eyes back if all I have to do is ask. Well, that would be up to Brian. You'd have to You're trying to take care of somebody else. Good luck with that one. Anyway, I gotta go. I gotta go use the bathroom, okay? And okay, like I said, please be respectful, okay? If you don't believe what I say, you don't have to. It doesn't matter to me. Your belief, I'm not trying to change your beliefs. I'm not trying to change anybody's beliefs. Being an archangel of light is not as easy as that you would think, right? You or I have a lot to learn, and like I learned stuff that I never imagined, and things okay, see ya, Dory. Okay, well, I just explained, yeah, okay, but yeah, please, words like that are, they're, how can I say it? They bring a little bit of negativity to you, and surround yourself with negativity. So it's best not to even, say stuff like that. Stay positive, okay, please. I love you all. Jason, you got your opinion. I respect your opinion. I'm not going to force anything on you. Nothing. But, if you got any questions, like say you're hurting, you need guidance in any way, I'm a pillar of light, okay? I'm, like I said, I'm like that beacon out that you see when you're on the boat and your boat is going all over, in a rough storm at night, right? That's what I am. I'm, okay, let's go to Dodie. She's a beacon of light. From there, okay, there's ground. I know I'm going to be safe. I'm out of that crazy storm. That's what I am right now. That's all I can be right now. That's all I've learned, okay? I don't have no magical powers. If I do, which we all do, but like I said, we got to go through different dimensions. We got to master all that stuff like Jesus did. Yeah, but right now I'm not there. I'm at kindergarten level, okay? So, but like I said, I was just explaining, okay, that's fine. But no, I'm not saying, some people do take it offensive, unfortunately. Not me, the one that takes it offensive is the Almighty. You might want to think about that. Anyway, Anonymous Trucker, James, I have a good afternoon and evening, Dodie. I will be in Missoula. Ooh, I love you there. I love Missoula. Later on today. Yeah, that's your last time I saw you was in Albuquerque. But yeah, have fun in Missoula. I'm in Illinois someplace, and I gotta call my dispatcher. Ciao, mommy. We'll see you. Thanks all you guys. I gotta drink my shake and go use the bathroom, and thanks for coming in. Okay, I really appreciate it. It was a really, really good explanatory. I didn't think it'd be that long and explanatory, but I got a lot of things. I got a lot of things off my chest, and I'm glad I let you guys know. If you guys ever want to look at this video again, everything I said is true to my knowledge, to my heart, And, you know, I don't lie, right? Okay. You can't be a warrior of light to an archangel and be spreading bullshit out there, that's for sure. But believe me or not, that's up to you, okay? I gotta go. I gotta go. I'll be back later, but Abigail. Okay. See you later. Bye.